Good evening and welcome to the Whaler Guys at World Headquarters of the Whaler Guys, 20-28 Sargent Street. It's Jerry and Peter, the Whaler Guys.
We're here.
You guys are the brigade, and we are one nation under green, and nobody can take that away from us. As we posted on Facebook earlier, we are not quitters. We are fighting to bring back the great and powerful whale, aren't we?
Oh, absolutely we are. And as we've been saying for a long time, and people thought we were crazy, we said the NHL visited Hartford, blah, 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 for months. And wouldn't you know, Governor Malloy releases a letter Friday saying to the Islanders, hey, we have an interim home for you, we have a permanent home for you if you want it, and we're working on the XL Center at the same time that he's proposing a budget today in front of the legislature. And everything's gone viral that we can... Everything that we touch has gone, it's amazing how many people are interested just in the Hartford market and this Islanders situation.
Well, it was interesting today. I was on social media and I saw that ESPN.com released that Governor Malloy was renovating the XL Center for future NHL teams.
Right.
And so, I think it's neat that not only was it released last Friday,
yeah,
but now ESPN is pushing it more that this renovation is in wake of an NHL club possibly relocating here.
Yeah.
And, we talked off camera show that, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Peter and I have heard about some information that was, as certain people said, has been rumbling for a couple weeks. We were asked to keep things under our hats until the governor made that announcement Friday.
Yeah.
And, we're not going to ruin our relationships with pretty important people just because, it's great that they get a hold of us. We appreciate being kept in the loop, but we're not going to go out and just say things because we know that they exist. We were asked to keep it under our hats, let the governor make that announcement with the letter, which is, great. I think we're at a stage of the game, as another person said, this is a critical point.
Yeah.
We have to have the XL Center done. It's do or die time for the XL Center.
Yep.
And, we heard from Senator Markley once again because he has to get out there and show his face and show that he doesn't go to the XL Center apparently.
Yeah.
And he can go he can get lost. And so it's one of those things where it's up to us, all of us, to take the naysayers. And if they don't believe in our mission, what do we tell them?
We tell them to shut your blowhole.
Because you know what?
Yeah.
All of us together, I know Whaler Nation can come through and we can outshine all these naysayers, all these people that want Hartford. It's kind of like the people that pull you down as you're growing up as a kid. You can either succeed or you can sit there and just, be nothing. Mm-hmm. If we know that Hartford was a major league market for many years, we know what can happen with Hartford being a major league market. Like the representative said to us at the Legislative Office Building, ever since the NHL left here, Hartford has been a JV or minor league city.
Yep.
If you want to be a minor league city, so be it. Be a minor league city. And you know what? You can sit there and wallow and we're not going to do anything and Hartford sucks and this sucks. Well, you know what? Go pound sand. And you know what? We need to get it done now, all of us. And we have to keep going and make Hartford a major league market because of everything going on downtown.
Right.
We've talked about it.
Oh, yeah. Ad nauseum.
It irritates the snot out of me.
And, you're probably thinking there like, the Islanders. First of all, I don't think that the Islanders, and I think you agree, I don't think the Islanders, and I don't think the NHL is going to let a team leave New York to come to Hartford. But this letter really was a letter to all 30 teams, any team that's thinking about moving. So, I'm sure the Phoenix took a look at that. I'm sure teams like Florida, maybe a Columbus look at that. Maybe
hey, how about Carolina, who's selling their club?
Carolina is probably like, we should have never, ever left. But anyway, this letter is a coming out party kind of be. I mean, it's like, finally Hartford says, hey, we want the NHL. We're a contender. And now they're on a list. And we saw publications where they put Hartford in front of Quebec. And it's easy for us to say that because 25 cents on the dollar more here in Hartford than up in Quebec, better TV market. Maybe you could tell me that Quebec would sell more tickets overall, but they don't have the 30th largest media market in the United States of America behind them, and that's what Hartford has.
And that's the other thing. We were lucky enough to we were joined by Fox 61 sports director Rich Capola last night on Shut Your Blowhole podcast number 23, which was the Paul McDermott podcast.
That's right.
And you can catch it on our Whalers Brigade page.
Yeah.
And he also went out there and said exactly what you said. You know, he doesn't envision New York letting the Islanders come here.
Yeah.
But another person close to the discussion with the NHL has said, we had to get into the britches of the NHL just to let them know that we're available.
Yeah.
And you know what? Yeah, let them know we're available.
Yeah.
Let them know that Hartford is a destination and a solution, as we've talked about for a long time. Howard Baldwin said it. We can be the solution for the NHL's problems.
Yep.
Meaning, you have Carolina who can't pay their bills. You have other teams with a line of credit through the NHL. We're available.
Right.
And, you know, as you put up on many posts, because apparently people don't get it the first time, that clip from WFSB.
Yeah. Yeah.
We lost $75 million the first year the Whalers were gone,
Right.
which equates to $108 million today. And how many jobs?
It was 896 jobs in 1997. You know, you could say it's 1,000 jobs this year. I mean, you know, coming in this, the way that times have changed over the last 20 years. I mean, you have, Twitter, social media, all these other things where people are going to, you hope that would be better. And plus, the arena's going to have more people. You'd think they'd hire more people to service the arena as well. So, yeah, and not only that, but the jobs, the temporary jobs that the XL would create, to do the renovation work alone. So we heard $50 million. I think for 2018, this is the governor's proposal: $50 million for 2018, and $75 million for the 2019 budget.
Right.
And one important thing we wanted to say was we've been telling you all along that the state of Connecticut's been talking to the NHL. I think that was proven because, first of all, if you're trying to track the NHL, the last thing you do is blindside them with a letter saying, "Hey, we're ready to take a team."
We've already been down that road.
Yeah, so the NHL knew this letter was coming. The Islanders, and I know that the Islanders said they didn't know about it, but believe me, they knew about it. Charles Wang, we're pretty sure, was here in 2014, in the summer of 2014, checking out the XL Center just as a preliminary thing. But that was when he was dealing with Andrew Barroway. But the bottom line is, Bettman, who denies everything. Did he say nobody's moving to Hartford? All of a sudden, he clammed up. I mean, that guy is the first to shoot down anything.
And I think
why didn't he say anything?
Because I think what happened, and you heard this from the governor himself the other day, I think it was Monday, that there are interested parties in buying a team and relocating them to Hartford. The other thing he said right after that, the next two sentences, was later on this week or the following week, I will be speaking with the commissioner.
Yeah.
So, for all the stuff we've been telling you, and you believe us or not, we don't give a crap.
Yeah.
You know what? He just confirmed everything we've been telling you for months. Now, we're trying to keep you guys up to date, and now he confirmed everything.
Yeah.
We were interviewed by a reporter the other day about the Whalers, about the Whaler Guys TV show, the Brigade, the license plate push, and I told him things that were confirmed and not confirmed, and we go way back. And the next day when the governor released the letter, and it went all over everywhere, I called the reporter back and I said, hey, by the way, all that stuff I said yesterday, confirmed.
Yeah.
So, it's great that all of this came out.
Yeah.
I wish it came out like 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Because it's been very painful for Pete and I to hang on and do
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
have to do.
You're right.
But it was great to see that come out on Friday because it shows the governor's serious about attracting the NHL.
And I think just the fact that there wasn't such a huge response from the NHL, you didn't get any shoot downs or anything like that, that shows that the NHL is a little bit serious too. The XL Center is, a building that can draw over, I think they had the market set at like 1.3 million. And we've been over how big that is. It's as big as Birmingham, Buffalo, Raleigh, Raleigh. How do you say that?
Raleigh.
Raleigh?
Yeah.
All right, Raleigh, because someone made a mention that I didn't say it right. So how do you say it again?
Raleigh's the
Raleigh?
bicycle.
Well, they need the Raleigh if they want to keep the team.
Raleigh,
That's why I call them.
Raleigh, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, when the XL Center is done,
Yeah.
And that atrium is acquired, it's going to be bigger than Tampa Bay, the Garden,
Yeah.
TD Garden,
Yeah.
and Pittsburgh.
Right.
So we're going to be competitive in the square footage
Yeah.
as all these other very successful arenas.
Right.
I think it's important to realize And I thought it was interesting. Friday, there was this media blast, of course, and there was some, there was some more positive than negative, of course. And then Monday came around, not so much, and then we knew that the budget was coming out today, and there was a fair share of negativity. Respectfully so, we are in a deficit.
Right.
So of course, the governor putting this in there at a tough time is going to be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah.
So I think as we go forward and it's split up through the 2 fiscal years, I think it's easier to swallow that way.
Oh yeah, without question. I mean, he almost had to set it up that way, and I don't know. We've always kind of said that once the ice sheet is done this summer, and they're actually making a party pit at the Adventure Zone. That's the city. So down, but that would be more for the Wolfpack, I think, than Yukon, from what I'm hearing. But anyway, so they're doing some things, and the ice will really be ready for a team to play on next September. And there are times when a team has gone to a new market and played while an arena is being built or one's being built around them. One of them was Madison Square Garden. Coincidentally, the team that's doing that for the Madison Square Garden is now in Hartford looking at that. So we've gone over that. SCI. And we have a direct line. We talked to Murray Bainan, who's the head architect, when he was at the public meeting on November 29th. And he gave us our card and said, if you have any questions, let me know. So we'll tell you guys, if you have a question that you'd like to ask the developer, send us a hashtag. We'll say hashtag XL Center. And then, hashtag SCI, Stadiums Consultant International, hashtag SCI, and send us your questions, and then we'll get a bunch of them together and give it to them, so that you guys, this is great because you're going to have a direct line, through us to asking the developers, so we can ask them all kinds of questions about the concourse, or
Mr. Bainan, and you have Mr. Armstrong, correct?
That's correct. Yeah. So, and that's something you don't get anywhere else right now.
No, what has happened to us is we've now gotten into a circle of people that really do support what we're doing, meaning the brigade, all Whaler Nation, pushing and pushing and pushing. And really, obviously, they're starting to hear us beat the drum, all of us collaboratively, because you know what? It wouldn't be because the Whalers just went away and we just gave up on them. It's because we keep on poking them. Put a stick in them. Let them know we're there. It's great because this past weekend, Peter and I were contacted by a state official who wanted the article about the Phoenix or Arizona Coyotes,
or Tempe, Glendale, whatever,
being dropped out of the Tempe project with Arizona State. When I first saw the article, I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
I know, what timing?
Arizona State is going forward with their stadium deal.
Yeah.
Without the Arizona Coyotes.
Yeah.
So, does that mean they don't like the ownership group?
Yeah, I'll tell you what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Are you ready?
Okay. Go ahead.
You'll remember this.
Be good.
This is good. So this is my opinion. So we put it out there. I think that once Arizona State, and it's really, for the area, it's a shame because what a great partnership it is to put the college team with a pro team. But I think the Arizona State University got to look at their paperwork and saw their deficit. And don't forget, we're pretty sure, not certain, but we're pretty sure that Phoenix is one of those teams that's had to take a line of credit from the NHL. That 2009, that the NHL owned that team. So I think Arizona State looked at the budget line and said, I don't want to part. It's like getting married to someone and you find out they owe $1 million and you're like, let's be friends. So that's what I think happened. I don't know what you think happened.
Friends.
Yeah. Go back to Glendale.
Yeah, right.
45 minutes northwest.
It's great that the state officials are reaching out to us about what we know and what we hear from you guys and the articles that you post on your pages that you share with us. It's very important because the communications has been absolutely phenomenal between us, you guys, the brigade. We get messages all the time, and that's how we can keep these state officials on top of the game. And if we're at a critical point where we have to justify spending all that money in the XL Center, well, it's a lot easier if an NHL team is on the way in here.
Sure.
Then the governor says, hey, I need emergency money because you know what? I got the NHL here.
Yeah, that would, and we did talk to some representatives who said, I'm kind of iffy on the whole XL Center thing. But if there was a team, I'd be more interested in approving that money. And keep in mind that, it's fun for us to talk about the NHL. We've been waiting for this moment, to talk about this and talk about this. The NHL is still that long shot, and the governor did use those words. On the other half of it, we need this XL Center done for UConn, for concerts, for the conventions. It's vital. I mean, that's the word I keep using.
Basketball,
for championship basketball.
For NCAA,
right.
You need a minimum of 18,000 seats for championship basketball. How would you like to host a Final Four here in Hartford?
Imagine.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd have to rent out a ton of buses to get people to hotels in the suburban areas because we don't have enough hotels downtown.
Probably, yeah.
Which is another issue when it comes building up the market, that you have to have more hotels downtown.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that Hard Rock thing is falling or falling in or on paper. Or
the stadium really hurt that, the yard goats thing.
Or was it just a nice conversation?
Yeah.
Because, again, you have to have enough hotels to hold 19,000 people. If half of them are going to stay here, if they're visiting from out of state or out of town.
Right.
I think with everything going on downtown, this is, like we said, it's a critical point that we have to get this arena done now. And yes, no guarantee on NHL, but for UConn moving forward, UConn just announced that they're going to start looking at rehabbing and redoing their baseball, soccer, and softball fields as a first priority, then the Frieda Center for specifically women's hockey, but doesn't mean that the men's hockey wouldn't be playing up there either.
Right.
Until Governor Malloy is not in office, I believe the UConn men hockey team will be playing in Hartford for quite a while.
He's told us that many times, face to face even, when we saw him at the XL. He said, as long as I'm governor, I want them to play their Hockey East games here at the XL Center. So he's been very adamant about that. And, we get a lot of people that go out there in social media and will post about the Whalers or, the XL Center, and people will tell you, like, oh, the NHL's is never coming back. They don't have, they're not paying attention to Hartford. That's wrong. We know that. That's wrong. They're paying attention. They very much are. Then we get people that say, oh, you can't trust this renovation with Hartford. They screwed up the ballpark. Okay, the ballpark was done by an inept administration, in my opinion, and they're all gone. A new mayor came in.
And that is a Hartford project.
Right, a Hartford City project.
Not a state project.
This is the CRDA, the Capital Region Development Authority. They're Malloy's team, and if you've been following the stuff downtown about the renovations, the UConn, if you the
Cape Well apartments.
Yeah, the Cape Well apartments, all the apartments downtown. They've created a demand for in-town living. The CRDA is like the Harlem Globetrotters. The city of Hartford's previous administration was like the Washington Generals.
Yes.
They had the problem with the soccer stadium. They had the problem with the yard goats, and a myriad of other things. So, keep that in mind. People think that they're like one and the same thing, but it's not. It's completely different people. You have a better team working on the XL Center than the team that you had working on the baseball team, in my opinion.
Well, and I hate to say it without proof, but it just goes back that we have. And now with Luke Bronin in there, he's squared away, and he's trying to fix what the previous administration did.
Right.
But it was the same story as always. Everyone's taking care of everyone's buddies.
Yeah.
You know what? And guess what? It doesn't get you a baseball stadium built because everyone is handing money to everyone else. We saw what happened with the Dillon Stadium project. That guy's going to jail. The other guy involved with him is going to start trial, I think, May 1st.
He pleaded guilty. He didn't even go to trial.
No, he didn't go to trial.
He just said, I'm guilty.
I think he pled guilty because he turned on the other guy. But May 1st, that guy's trial is coming up.
Yeah.
That will finally be the cloud away from Hartford and away from Dillon Stadium, because that is another gem of Hartford that needs to be refurbished for the football club they want in the soccer team, the Hartford Football Club. It'd be a great place to play. Again, right over by the Colt building, great place to
historic field, really.
It's part of the future. It's part of the investment, and that's what people have to understand. The XL Center, yes, is an old building. We know that, but it's an investment for the future. If an NHL team comes here tomorrow, they're signing a lease for 20 to 25 years. If UConn gets a refurbished building, XL Center, they're ready to sign a lease for 20 years.
Right.
You know what?
We could take a break.
Those are two major tenants that will then support the XL Center.
Right, and they can now also draw eventually from
the NCAA.
Yeah, and not only that, but they can also draw from Springfield, from the casino there, MGM.
Yes.
And that's what they're trying to do here is, feed off that, because you can say put another casino in Hartford and all that, but I don't really want that. And to have an NHL team nearby, that casino is going to buy tickets, and then when people win, they go, oh, why don't you take a 25-minute Uber or whatever down to the XL Center? The Whalers are going to thrash.
Or the bus line that they're going back and forth
the
to
bus
Springfield.
line. Yeah. So there's just a lot of things going around Hartford. Hartford's trying to catch up and keep up.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time. Like I said, this building has not been ever worked on. It needs to be worked on.
We're going to be walking in there tonight. UConn's playing Providence.
Right.
Providence is ranked 15th in the country. And we're walking in there tonight, and when we go down to the basement, you're going to see all the rusted pipes. You're going to see all the caves. The place is crazy.
Doors that they didn't know went to wherever.
Yeah, you remember that?
They were afraid to find a body. You know, like,
exactly.
oh, this is where that
This is not a buried treasure.
This is where the hide and seek champion is. His skeleton was found.
Yeah,
there.
right. Because the door locked.
Nobody. Yeah.
You know, and so when we walk through there and we talk to some of the workers in there, and they show us the IT cables, they show us the audio cables, and remember,
rotary phones.
Right. Oh, green. You said they were green.
Green rotary phones. Got to call someone. Hold on, it's going to take a minute.
Yeah.
I don't know if most of you maybe have never seen a rotary phone, but
That too.
it's a little outdated. I mean, it was on the Brady Bunch.
And when we're sitting there and we're talking to the guy who's in charge of the audio visual equipment for UConn hockey and UConn basketball, this is nationwide stuff.
Yeah.
This is where CBS comes in when UConn's playing at the XL Center, the basketball team. And it's going nationwide. We can't have it fail.
Yeah.
You know, this is not something we want to be embarrassed about. We want people to come and say, you know what, I had a great time in Hartford. I went to a pub. I went to the restaurant. I saw a great game today.
Yeah.
And hopefully walk away with a good presentation of Hartford instead of, it's Hartford, Connecticut.
Yeah.
You know, okay, yep, they're still doing the same thing. Yay, go Whalers.
Yeah.
No, the Whalers are back. You know what? We're a major league market again, and we'll make some money.
Yeah, and everybody, there's another argument that people will say, well, it should go to education, or this money should go to something else or something. Listen, the XL Center is pulling tax dollars away from everything else, and it's costing taxpayer money. It's in the red. That you need to make this thing make money so that actually it ends up kicking money out to the education, to infrastructure, that type of thing. Why have it be a drain? I mean, get it up and going. And it's not like we ask for this every 5 years. It's when the roof was put back on, that was the last upgrade it got in 1979-80. So.
I mean, someone posted on Facebook the other day of Jody Rell holding up "Home at Last."
Yeah.
Well, maybe we can hold it up again and say "Home again."
Yeah.
I'm cautiously optimistic. More so for the NHL Center, the NHL coming to Hartford.
Right.
Cautiously optimistic. I would say that. I'm optimistic about the XL Center being done.
Yeah.
I think most of those representatives know how important the XL Center is to Hartford.
God help them. Yeah, they should know because,
Oh, we're going to bash them.
Yeah.
I'll find out who didn't vote. And that we will publicly bash them. Yeah. And you'll buy me a big coffee, and then everything will go off the window. Jose will be behind the counter, and he'll hit the beep button because I'll be off the hook.
And I'll tell you, it's amazing how people don't understand, and Malloy brought it up in his address to the legislature today. The better Hartford does, it actually will help suburbs. There's more jobs in Hartford. There's people, buying homes in nearby suburb communities. It doesn't make any sense to make things go in reverse.
Sure.
Here.
How would you like to work at one of these big insurance companies, have people come in from Minnesota, all these other hockey areas, and say, you know what, hey, I'm going to take you out tonight. Oh, where are we going? Oh, we have to go to a restaurant. There's nothing going on down there.
Yeah.
No, I want Hartford to be open 24/7 like a mini New York City. You know what? I can envision that happening. When UConn moves downtown and all those apartments are filled and you have the younger life, those kids want to go out and have a good time. And you have to give them every avenue to go to the Bushnell, to the Hartford Stage, to the bars, to the pubs, and to a hockey game if we have the opportunity for the NHL to return.
Right.
And I think we're at the point to say yes.
Yeah.
Nobody should say no.
Yeah.
There's no reason, really.
Yeah.
With all the followers we have, we need to get out there and keep on beating a drum and tell them, yes, no is not an option.
Yeah.
So I'm all fired up. It's hot. All right. We're wrapping it up. So we are going to the UConn game. Go UConn, go blue. Let's beat Providence tonight, and we will catch you next time on the Whaler Guys. He's Pete. I'm Jerry. We're the Whaler Guys. You guys are the Brigade, and of course, we are one nation under green. Have a great night, everybody.